that you're familiar with from conference play?
Yeah, I mean, we did. Obviously, we watched. It was one of the first ones I watched. But you know, they also played Ole Miss. They were up 26. I think they played. You know, they played Wichita State. They were up 8 at half. They were up 15 at one point at Wichita State, which is incredible. So you know, you watch all those games to try to have, you know, a little bit of a comparison. But you're also watching a lot of games here as the season gets closer, to see if they've changed it anyway as a team.
When Dom walked out for warm-ups or practice today, he immediately banked in a half-court three-point shot, just so you know.
Yeah, well, that doesn't surprise me. Like, it's about where you got to pick him up, is about at that spot. He's a phenomenal talent. I guess he's a kid that lost a bunch of weight, maybe at some point, but listen, we'll see him in the NBA I think for a number of years. I really do.
Sorry to cut you off. I did want to ask you about Caleb, and for a big man coming into the tournament, obviously, like, you're not going to see the same officials, and that can be an adjustment for a big man more than anybody else. How do you approach this with him, and how do you try to make sure he's ready, contribute at the level he has to, and also be willing to adapt to however the game's being called?
Yeah, I think he's got to adjust and adapt, as you said. He's done a pretty good job of that this year. There are bigger concerns, obviously, than for me with Caleb, and that is the matchup issue there. But Caleb just has to be Caleb, and we've got to try to utilize him and when we can in low post, and he's got to be on point defensively against you know, as difficult a matchup as he's played against all year. So, you know, I think he'll be ready for it. And the big thing for him is I think his conditioning hopefully has improved a little bit. As the season progressed, I think it wasn't quite where it needed to be, and that's easy for that to be the case. But hopefully it's improved a little bit since we had some time off.
We've heard you talk a lot about Dom's offense, but what does he do defensively that can cause you guys problems?
He's just big and long. You know, he's big and long, and around the rim and he really rebounds well because he has big, obviously long arms and big hands. You know, I think his length is the biggest issue. Gets his hands on balls, defensive rebounds. You know, does a good job staying out of foul trouble.
You talked about